I've got some top medicine for you. The truth is that everybody needs to radically rethink how you communicate, especially how you write. So, what I want to leave you with the basic tips. Because you probably know what you are frazzled and you're distracted, you can't see it when you are trying to send a message, like what are the things that you could do differently starting today become to a vastly more effective communicator. Number 1, stop being selfish. So much of writing is self-indulgent. We write about what we care about and we write at the length that we want to write about. We don't think about the whole purpose of it, which is what is that person that I'm writing this for or to talking to? What do they actually need to know? What do they actually care about refers the way you think about communicating. Number 2, grab me. Whenever you are communicating again, I don't care if it's an email, if it's a tweet, if it's a note, if it's a memo to your friends, if it's chats or anything, grab me. What is the most important thing? The reason you're writing what is the one thing if you only have 20 seconds. I mentioned what is the one thing you want to remember about. Number 3 is keep it simple. Just keep it simple, like think of that one sentence is better than 2 sentences, one paragraph is better than 2 paragraphs. Use a simple, strong words. There's a reason you are taught a simple sentence structure when you are a little kid. We're also concerned with not offending anyone, leaving people out, or being presumption that we have defaulted to a ridiculous extreme, adding all the qualifiers we can to ensure we don't get called out by the readers. Let's use my intro in this post as an example. I made a presumption that you don't like to blog. I also might have insulted some people by saying people don't like reading what they write. I could have added every qualifier on earth to try to make sure. Finding the right word for something can remove entire clauses from sentences, sentence from paragraph, paragraph from prose. It is so clearly expressed your pen, you don't need to over-explain it again. That's a really helpful approach to take with how to content that requires a lot of attention to detail, but it isn't required for every post you write. Assume your readers don't need you to over-explain concepts. Even if a few lots them do, you will find most will rise to the occasion and appreciate the opportunity to read something that asks them to use their brain cell. Diction or word choices is the crux of good writing. The words you put on a page must be chosen carefully. Fluff words that reveal your content should be cut or replaced. Adverb can help qualify certain words, but they generally don't lend themselves to such writing. Instead of saying someone walked away angrily, say that they stormed away. Instead of writing that someone was very hungry, write that they were famished. Don't go overboard looking for synonym. If you are choosing between a lesser noun, complicated word, and universally known one, go for the latter. Recognizability is more important than impressing reader with obscure vocabulary. The use of passive voice often makes sentence lengthier and the overall tone presumption. Instead of saying I'm fascinated by people, you can write people fascinate me. Write everything, then cut in half. You have written your article, let it sit, occupy yourself with other things, and come back to in the next day. Self-editing is embarrassing, especially if you don't have budget to hire an editor. Identify Places where bullet point or lists may make the content easier to read, and cut all your lengthy sentence in half. Some marketers even suggest reading your text from bottom up instead of the normal order. Redundancy doesn't just add words, it weakens a writer's point. Reading an article packed with superfluous information causes readers to lose interest and forget the point the author was trying to make. Avoiding redundancy, then and strong diction. If you choose impactful words, you won't to need to overwrite to try and clearly your point. Be human, write like a human. I don't say this in journalism all the time. I don't understand what happened to our species that when you put it in your hand or keyboard in front of us, we suddenly stiffen up, think we Harvard professor were worldwide men, and we try to show up in poor writing like if I was talking to you in the bar, I'm not going to use such words. Just stop. The greatest gift that you can give yourself and others in this cultural world is their time back. Use a few words as a few sentences as humanly possible so that person gets the message that you want and you both get the time back that you deserve. If you just started thinking about the efficiency of communication, if you put to practice a couple of the tips that I just talked about, you will see in your own that you start to think more clearly, talk more clearly, write more clearly, and you will see ultimately that it's obviously good for you because you will not be hurt again. Writing less doesn't mean you have to convey fewer ideas. Fewer words can be more effective.